What are we talking about today? Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the What Are We Talking About podcast. How's it going today, Cole?
Not too bad, how about you?
Not bad. I am, of course, Cody McLean. With me is Cole Francis. And, we're going to talk about some news and some new trailers that came out. We watched, new in the past since we made the previous podcast, basically. So they're not all brand new, but we haven't had a chance to talk about all these on the podcast, so let's go through some of them.
Yeah.
I think there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that we watched.
Yeah.
So, first one we'll talk about is, it's called Louder Than Bombs. It's one of the last ones we watched, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
What did you think about that trailer?
I don't know, it looked like it could be very dry.
Yeah, I'm not really exactly sure what type of a movie it is, but it seems like, because it's an indie movie, right?
Yeah.
But I just mean, I don't know if it's a drama, but there's a big action scene where the car has a giant collision, right? Which, it's not the kind of action you would classically think of as action, but the thing about indie movies is the only reason why basically this trailer is, okay, I'll be honest with you, pretty much the only reason why I watched this trailer ever in the first place was because it has Jesse Eisenberg in it. And what most indie filmmakers, if they want people to watch their movie, what they have to do is spend most of their budget on a big star.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't have as much of the rest of the budget, right? Like, because they need to get one big star so that people will be like, oh, I know that person, I'll go see this movie maybe.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or at least they'll watch the trailer, right? But I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of the trailer didn't really get me that. It got me a little bit intrigued, but also it's kind of confusing as to what the movie's entirely about, but maybe that was on purpose. I don't know, maybe it's like a mystery. I'm not sure. But we'll definitely see shortly. I don't know when the movie comes out, but when the movie comes out, we'll know if we watch it. Which, did that trailer make you want to watch it?
Not really, in fact.
It makes me want to... I'll catch it on Netflix or cable or something when it comes out, but I'm not going to pay money in a theater to see it.
No.
At least not from that trailer. What's next?
Who knows, it could be good.
Well, no, it could be. It could be the best movie of the year. Who knows? Well, Nina, that Zoe Saldana, David Oyelowo, it's based on, it's like a biopic. I don't know what the singer's name is. Nina, maybe that she just has one name. I don't know, maybe like Cher, but I guess there's a lot of controversy over this, but I don't know, it just seemed like an average trailer to what is going to be an okay movie. But I guess I never really thought about it, but I guess what's Zoe Saldana, I don't know where she hails from, but I guess she's not black, and she's playing someone who is black, and so people are getting up in arms about it. So I don't know that much about it, but that, I guess, is, this movie is causing quite a stir. I just thought that I didn't really think about anything I didn't think about that when I watched the trailer for the first time. It wasn't until after I had watched the trailer that I heard people were talking about it on YouTube and on Twitter and stuff like that, and it's like people were flipping out about it, and I just didn't think about it. I don't know. Yeah, like I thought she had played black people before. Like, maybe it's because this is a famous black person. I don't know.
Who knows?
But what did you think of the trailer itself?
It looked like it gave a lot of it away.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of really cut together, and like you could tell there was a lot of, like, when it was just talking,
Yeah.
you could tell that they were taking multiple different conversations and putting them together and stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah. But what's A Beautiful Planet, which it's not like a movie, but it is a movie, but it's a documentary, right?
Yeah.
About the International Space Station. But
Pretty sweet.
it's also like a lot about their view that they have from the International Space Station of Earth. So there's like lots of big IMAX shots of this of a beautiful planet, Earth. And I don't know, like, to me, and it's narrated by Jennifer Lawrence. To me, the trailer makes me want to watch that when it comes out in IMAX, because just on this tiny little TV, it was amazing. Like, the images were incredible to look at.
No doubt.
What did you think about it?
Yeah, I thought it looked really good. I definitely made me want to see it. Yeah. It was the first I've heard of it. So.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. It'll be definitely probably worth the trip. I mean, we'll have to do more in a day than just that, but go down to Edmonton or Calgary and check that out on the actual, like, big IMAX. It's not going to be on the IMAX screen in Red Deer.
No.
That's reserved for whatever is going to make the most money, right? We'll see. I would definitely really enjoy seeing that.
Yeah.
So, we talked about this one. No, we didn't talk about that. Let's talk about Finding Dory. What did you think of that trailer?
First of all, I'm very skeptical.
Were you looking, before the trailer came out, were you looking forward to seeing a sequel to Finding Nemo?
I was on the fence about it, but now I'm like...
And what did the trailer do? Did it help you move towards one side or the other?
Yeah. Me thinking it's probably gonna be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same situation as you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, but when I first heard about the idea of a Finding Nemo sequel, I was like, that could be alright. But then it was called Finding Dory. And I thought that this means Dory is going to be the main character, which I don't know if that's a good thing. We'll see. I don't know. It might be okay. But lots of times when you take a side character and put them as the main character, like we were talking about earlier with Cars 2,
yeah,
it doesn't work. It's usually not as good of a movie. And so we'll see. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the movie yet, but from this trailer, I got a couple laughs out of it, but it seems like in a lot of ways a repeat of the original, of Finding Nemo, right?
It does.
She ends up in captivity, and like, who knows, maybe there'll be a big anti-captivity message, like shut down SeaWorld thing, type of thing. I don't know. We'll have to watch to find out. But I mean, this, I don't know if I'm still on the fence. This didn't convince me really either way. I don't think. Like, I'm a little bit leaning towards not going to see it already.
Yeah.
But because I feel in a lot of ways that it might be just a cash grab. Who knows? Because Finding Nemo is one of their biggest box office. Like, I love Finding Nemo. It's one of my favorites. I actually went and saw it. They re-released it in 3D, and I went and saw it in 3D because, I don't know, I actually really like 3D. I have a 3D TV and stuff, right? But it was so incredible to watch in 3D because it's all this underwater images and stuff, and like, it's actually really cool. They did a really good job of the post conversion on that, and so I don't know how much money it's made in its entire run, but clearly a lot to make, because they're making this sequel before some other sequels. Because I'm pretty sure Finding Nemo came out after The Incredibles, right? And they're not making Incredibles 2 doesn't come out until like 2017 or 2018 or 2019. I don't friggin' know. I'll have my own kids by the time it comes out. But yeah. So, who knows? Let us know what you thought about any of these trailers well, we're on YouTube now, so in the comments, or you can comment on, if you're listening on SoundCloud as well. Angry Birds. What did you think of the Angry Birds trailer?
This
This isn't the first trailer either. So this is like, I don't know, second or third trailer, but the first ones were just kind of like almost introductions to the two Angry Birds. Kind of like they're like, this movie's coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
This trailer is more of like, it actually kind of seems like we get some of the story, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about this?
It looks so bad. Like, why would they make a movie about Angry Birds? It's terrible.
I don't know. I didn't hate it. It was making me laugh a couple times. Yeah, it's a dumb story, but how else, like you just said, how can you make a movie about Angry Birds? And this seems to be like it might, like it seems like it's gonna be the only way that you could make an Angry Birds movie.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, before the Lego movie came out, people were, myself included, how in the hell do you make a Lego movie? What is a Lego movie gonna be?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the best animated movies of all time. Like, it's incredible. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, cool. You gotta watch Lego Movie. But now aside from Angry Birds, they're also talking about making a Pez movie. There was like fighting over the rights to a Pez movie between multiple studios. An emoji, or maybe it was the Emoji Movie. They're also making an emoji movie. Like, they're making all these Lego Movie knockoffs now. And who knows? Angry Birds? We'll see. Like I said, I got a couple laughs out of the trailer. And the story seems like... I mean, I've played a little bit of Angry Birds, the Star Wars Angry Birds. And all it is, it's like... Because I used to play Crush the Castle in high school, where it was like an online game. And it was one of the original versions of this, where you like... You have a trebuchet, and you throw a rock, and you have to try and destroy a castle and kill all the people in it, basically. This, on... Angry Birds, it's that same thing, but it's a more kiddie version where you're shooting birds that can do different things. Mm-hmm. And you have to hit... There's like pigs that are the bad guys, as, like you saw in the trailer, right? And so basically, it's that same idea where you have to destroy the buildings and kill all the pigs.
Oh, really?
But it's more cartoony, and it seems like they could have easily made a movie based on this and have it be really, really cheesy and crappy, where they're just firing each other back and forth all the time or something. Who knows? Yeah. But it seems like this isn't like that's only a little bit of it. That like the slingshot is how we get across to the other side. And one thing that is the only problem that I saw with this trailer. I mean, it didn't make me laugh. Like every joke didn't hit, but it seemed like it gave away most of the movie. Which is, it seems a theme with modern trailers, where they're giving away so much of the movie. Because...
Yeah, they're doing that a lot lately.
It tells you more than just... Like, they could have cut this... I mean, maybe it's because it's a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. That it's easier to... Like, it's better to just give away most of the movie. But, I don't know. To me, it seemed like, now we know... I know what's going to happen. Fully. The pigs steal the eggs, then they shoot with it. Like, it would have been cool if they didn't show them shooting over to the, like, they're like, oh, we got to get to the pigs, figure out a way to get to Pig Island or whatever, right? And then that was kind of, like, they didn't show them actually getting there. Yeah. Would have been better. Because it's, I mean, we're talking about a trailer to a kid's movie, so it's like, it doesn't really matter, but in a way, it's like, maybe that would have been better. And the kids would have been more intrigued. And it's almost like a cliffhanger ending of a TV show, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, how do they get to the island?
True.
I mean, if you weren't going to watch it, that's not going to make you want to go watch it. But I mean, for a kid, it would be more, I think maybe they would be more likely to, oh, we got to see it because I need to know how the birds get their eggs back. But now we know. So, what's next? Boo! Madea Halloween. What did you think of this trailer, Cole? It's another Madea movie. I've seen like one or two Madea movies.
I've never seen one, but I can just every time I think of Madea, I think of like one South Park did. I don't know if you've seen that.
I don't know if I've seen it. No.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. What did you think of this little teaser, and what do you think of the idea of a movie like this?
I think it could be cool. It's like,
Really?
It's like, well, yeah, maybe. I'd give it a try.
I
Like,
watched when I
It's
saw
like
the trailer.
the-
I was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." Madea and zombies. Okay, whatever. But who knows? It could be the best movie ever.
I doubt it'll be the best movie ever, but it's worth a shot.
But it got you intrigued at least.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I should just be like killing zombies.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder why he wants
we'll
to
see.
do a
I don't
horror
know.
movie.
because she didn't kill zombies. She just came out, shot her shotgun, and they all ran away, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what. I don't even know how much of a like. This will be. I think. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen very many Madea movies. I've only seen like one, maybe two, and you have said you haven't seen any, right?
No.
So, did you ever watch House of Pain or whatever that TV show? Okay. Yeah, no, I don't remember if that's what it's called, but I think so. But yeah, I don't know how this is gonna be. It could be a hilarious movie. It could be just awful. But
Yeah.
I feel the trailer did not, or teaser, whatever it was, announcement teaser, did not get me intrigued. I was like, what is this monstrosity? Because I also really like zombies.
Yeah.
So it kind of bugs me when people are just like trying to cash in on zombies. I prefer it when somebody like takes the lore and actually makes something new and unique with it.
Yeah.
Like 28 Weeks Later is one of my favorite zombie movies because it was
pretty good.
it kind of changed the game, right?
Yeah.
Same with some of the like the Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. It's actually incredibly good. I also like the remake is one of the first zombie movies that I saw is like the remake of Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't watch lots of zombie movies when I was a kid. But one of my favorite zombie movies is Zombieland, which is a comedy, but it's also one of the more accurate descriptions of the zombies in terms of like how they come about. Because I don't know. I don't think you could reanimate an entire a body as big as a human from death. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. But I think it'd be more likely to have like a 28 Weeks Later style or a Zombieland style, where it's a virus that if you get infected, even in The Walking Dead, it's a virus, and if it didn't actually reanimate you and you weren't actually dead, if you were just became sick and the sickness was basically rabies, where you went insane and tried to kill people and eat people and shit, like a rage virus, like in 28 Weeks Later. In Zombieland, basically, it's the same thing, but it's more about them wanting to eat. Like, it's not as much about them being angry and trying to kill. It's more... Because basically what I think of a zombie virus would be, if it happened in real life, would be a virus that causes a lot of your primary brain functions to shut down, and the only thing that's left is your brain stem and like your basic functions, and your basic like the reptilian brain, where it's your basic instincts of basically eat, fuck. That's it. Those are your pretty much two instincts, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what it would be, and those are also the scariest form of zombies because they could possibly reproduce unless the virus did something so extreme where it changed it so that they were unable to reproduce. If it made everybody sterile that received the virus, that could be also. But if they weren't sterile, they'd be able to reproduce, right? And they would be able to have kids that were born as zombies, right?
Yeah.
It'd be it'd be crazy to like. In real life, a real life zombie apocalypse would be like it'd be like. Have you seen Walking Dead or not Walking Dead? I Am Legend. Those are vampires, but if those are kind of more. Those are like a realistic form of vampires almost, where it's like mutated humans that can't go out in the sunlight and like they're supposed to. I think also feed off of blood. I don't know if that's true or no, but I mean I haven't read the book, but because they don't really just say what the deal is in the movie, they just kind of are like you just see the monsters, like they don't go into details about them really or anything. But they're also intelligent, and there's a deleted ending, like alternate ending of I Am Legend, where
I think I've seen that.
where the monster dude comes in and he's just like basically takes back his wife and leaves, and it shows that they're not just insane trying to kill him. He's trying to get his wife back that Will Smith captured, right? But yeah, I don't know. I like I Am Legend, but I wish that I Am Legend was made better. Like it was a better form, because it's like there's other versions of that story based on that book, right? Like there's but they're not called I Am Legend. It was the first one that was named the same thing as the book. And I think if you're gonna name your movie based on the book, try and get it close. Yeah. Right? Like it changed the entire theme of the, like that's the problem. My problem with the movie, it changed the entire theme. Like I liked the movie because I saw it before I knew about the book, right? Like because I saw it when I was a kid. But when Logan told me about the book and shit and all that story, I haven't got to read it yet, but it changes my opinion a little bit, where it's like I wish that I could see that story as a movie. But if maybe it's too crazy. But here's the thing: if it's too crazy and you don't want to do that same exact story, and you want to just use some ideas from the book, call it something else. Why does it have to be called I Am Legend? Yeah, you're allowed to do that if you have the book rights. You can call it whatever you want, and nobody knows about the book I Am Legend really. Like, not Logan is the only person I have talked to that's read it. Maybe lots of other people have read it, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. It just seems weird, but I do like it because of its semi-realistic take on vampires, and like lots of people even think they're zombies because of how they are portrayed. Right? Yeah. It's just a virus, which, like I said, I think that'd be the most accurate form of zombies. Which this is none of this is going to be in Medea's Halloween. No, they're just going to be probably undead zombies, unexplained. Who knows? I don't even know if there's gonna be zombies in the movie. Like, it might just be about Halloween. Like, that she doesn't want to give out candy. Who knows? We'll see. Oh, well, probably not. I'll probably never watch it. But there'll probably be more trailers. Who knows? And the last trailer that we're gonna talk about today
could have been a riot.
What could have been a riot?
Oh, the trailer for Madea or Boo.
Yeah, like, I don't know. We don't even, like, those could have been not actual zombies. I mean, they made them seem like real zombies, but that, like I said, none of that might not be in the movie at all, that entire scene. Yeah. Right? Who knows? Ghostbusters, the reboot. Paul Feig, who directed Bridesmaids, did you see Bridesmaids? No. I watched it and I didn't love it, but it was pretty funny. I mean, I'm sure I would have liked it more if it would have been the first movie with that cast in a comedy. Like, it was the first. I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it more recently than that, and I had already seen like The Heat and Identity Thief and some other Melissa McCarthy movies and stuff like that. So her shtick wasn't quite as impactful because it wasn't the first time I saw it. But, the rest of the movie I didn't love, but it was still funny. It was a funny movie. And, Paul Feig, it's the same guy who's directing this movie. All-female cast of Ghostbusters. Most of them are SNL cast, or maybe all of them. Who are the four again? Krista Wiig, Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy wasn't on SNL, was she? No, she's not. And then I don't know what the actress's name is, the blonde actress who's like the engineer. Oh. Kate McKinnon, and then I'm blanking on also the other
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. Yeah. This is another controversial trailer. People are flipping out, but not more than just because some people hate it and some people love it. But what did you think about the new Ghostbusters trailer?
I mean, I'll definitely try it out.
What did it make you think watching that? Like, what do you think the movie is going to be about?
I think they're just going to rehash it and like do something. Well, I mean, I guess within the scope of it being like a big case that they end up working on that somehow leads to a bigger overarching story.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
What did you think about? Okay, do you think that like? Did you get the idea that this was a sequel or like a reboot? Like, what did you think?
I don't know. I think it might be just a reboot.
Because the one thing that I noticed that some people, it might have confused some people, at the start of the trailer it says 30 years ago,
Oh, really?
4 scientists, blah, 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 like now there's a new team.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And everything I've heard about this movie up until that part of the trailer and everything, the rest of the trailer, when you watch it, it doesn't seem like they make any reference to the fact that there has ever been ghosts before. Like, it makes it seem like it's a new story, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're trying to mislead people with this, with the whole 30 years ago, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, they straight up said this is not a sequel, this is a reboot before the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the trailer, it's clearly not. Like, they make no other after that they make no other references to the other movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it seems like it's just a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? What in the trailer, if the trailer would have been, if somebody would have said, oh, remember the legends about, basically referencing the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
We could be those scientists, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could do that. And then maybe they could, but the problem is also they're having cameos of like Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray.
Oh, really?
But not as the original characters.
Oh, no?
No. So it's not connected at all to the original.
That's no good, yeah.
So we'll see. Who knows? But also Dan Aykroyd has been talking about Ghostbusters connected universe where there's multiple Ghostbusters movies and stuff like that. And like alternate timelines and stuff like that. Who knows? That'd be kind of interesting though to see a crossover where it's like alternate timeline and the original Ghostbusters and the new Ghostbusters crossover. Who knows? Like, that'd be crazy, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the trailer as much as some people. I got a few laughs out of it, but I don't know. I'm still not fully decided. It could be good though. It won't be as good as the original, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be a good stand on its own movie. And I like the talent involved. And like I said, I got some laughs out of the trailer. Some of it was a little bit shticky, like the goo coming out of or not glue, sorry, slime. The slime. First of all, there's like the puke joke right away, but I mean that's fine. Whatever. She was getting slimed. And then the slime. They showed also quite a bit too with the whole possession thing. If they maybe should have just showed that the ghost went into what's her name, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy.
And then I don't know. Like, I feel like they put in that they maybe shouldn't have shown her throwing that other chick out the window and stuff like that. I feel, and maybe they shouldn't have shown Leslie Jones slapping the ghost out of her as well, because it kind of tells you that whole arc of that. Like, we know that whole even though it's probably not a major story, like it seems like it'll be a short little thing. That'll lead to something more later. They could have showed less and teased it a bit more. And in that way, they could have. Oh, like they didn't have to show her throwing them out the window. And I think the reason why they did that is because they wanted to show her head spinning around. They were like, this is a cool scene, let's put this in the trailer. And so they put in too much because they had to put in other stuff to make it make sense, right? Why is this chick out the window? Oh, because she got thrown out. Like, I don't know. That's my theory, but it might be wrong. But I don't know. Whoops. I didn't hate it, and we'll have to wait and see it when the movie comes out or when more trailers come out. Chris Hemsworth, you saw him just a little quickly. Did you see him in that trailer?
Oh, no.
He kicked open a door and then was walking through, and he had like one of those sets of coveralls tied around his waist and wearing a white t-shirt. He plays like the secretary. So it's like a full-on gender swap
Yeah.
of the originals, because in the originals they had a female secretary, I'm pretty sure, right? So I'm not like a hardcore Ghostbusters fan is the thing. So there's no part of me that's like, this is like shitting on the original or anything like that, right? Because I enjoy the originals. I mean, I don't know if I've even seen Ghostbusters 2, but I enjoy the original Ghostbusters. But it's not my favorite movie. Like it didn't define my childhood or anything like that. So with some people, it's their favorite movie of all time, and it was what they grew up with. But for me, it wasn't, right? So I enjoy it, but it's different for me. Whereas with some people, I can understand that aspect, because if they remade Star Wars, I would probably flip out, right?
Yeah.
If they did a remake of Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back or Return, like I'd be fine if they remade episodes 1, 2, and 3 and changed them slightly and made them so that they fit with the because lots of the stuff in those movies don't even fit with the rest of the original trilogy. But so like, other than that, I could understand why you would be pissed if they're remaking one of your favorite movies of all time. But you kind of also shouldn't be, for the simple fact of, like, yeah, I'd be kind of pissed that they were remaking Star Wars, but I mean, I also kind of wouldn't be, because I would still be able to watch Star Wars, right? I still have it on DVD. The original theatrical release of Star Wars, before it was called A New Hope, right? So, when Han shot first, I got it all. No Jabba the Hutt CGI scene. But, yeah, so that part never came into it for me with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
With the nostalgia bit of it. Like, yeah, there's a bit of nostalgia. Oh, I like the hearse. It looks cool. Like, it's a nice callback to the original Ghostbusters, the Ecto-1 or whatever it was called. Yeah, we'll see when the movie comes out. There's not much else to say about the trailer. Like I said, I didn't hate it.
It'll be good, I think. Maybe.
Definitely could be good.
Could be good. Yeah.
So, there's a couple of different news items that have come up. Just wait, I gotta look at this quickly, because this might be breaking news. Oh no, it's just a picture. Okay, so let us see. Okay, here's one that's just kind of fun. Oscar-winning Star Wars animator admits he took LSD while working on Return of the Jedi. This is from thefreethoughtproject.com. Here's some quotes. I took LSD when I was working on Return of the Jedi, and it's fine. It was like very calming, and so I decided to go back to work. When I walked into the blue screen stage, it was like, I took way too much. But he won an Oscar for it, so way to go. That's just kind of funny to me. One of my favorite movies, and it's like,
yeah.
Dude. Also, Carrie Fisher was high on cocaine, so it's quite a bit of drugs going around. I also read this thing today on Reddit where they said, I think it was Blues Brothers. When that movie was made, they had money in the budget for cocaine. Here's a little bit of science news that I think is actually really interesting. MIT it says MIT's new 5-atom quantum computer could make today's encryption obsolete. This is from PCWorld.com.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'll just read some of this. Much of the encryption world today depends on the challenge of factoring large numbers, but scientists now say they've created the first 5-atom quantum computer with the potential to crack the security of traditional encryption schemes. In traditional computing, numbers are represented by either zeros or ones, but quantum computing relies on atomic scale units, or I don't know how to pronounce this. Qubits, QU bits, basically, which I think would be a mixture between maybe like quark and bit. I don't know. That can be simultaneously 0 and 1, a state known as a superposition that's far more efficient. It typically takes about 12 qubits to factor the number 15. but researchers at MIT and the University of Innsbruck in Austria have found a way to pare that down to 5 qubits, each represented by a single atom, they said this week. Using laser pulses to keep the quantum system stable by holding the atoms in an ion trap, the new system promises scalability as well. The more atoms and lasers can be added to build a bigger and faster quantum computer able to factor much larger numbers. That, in turn, presents new risks for factorization-based methods such as RSA, used for protecting credit cards, state secrets, and other confidential data. So, RSA is it's a form of encryption. There's some quotes from oh wow, that sucks. Isaac Wang, I don't know, Huang, professor of physics and professor of electrical engineering and computer sciences at MIT, says, "We show that Shor's algorithm, the most complex quantum algorithm known to date, is realizable in a way where, yes, all you have to do is go in the lab, apply more technology, and you should be able to make a bigger quantum computer. It might still cost an enormous amount of money to build. You won't be building a quantum computer and putting it on your desktop anytime soon. But now it's much more an engineering effort and not a basic physics question." So, he also said, "In future generations, we foresee it being straightforwardly scalable. Once the apparatus can trap more atoms and more laser beams can control the pulses, we see no physical reason why that is not going to be in the cards." So, I mean, it's unbelievable in a way. Like, so the reason why they have quantum computers is because physically only so much data can be stored in a certain area, right? So they have to scale it down all the way to atoms if they're gonna be able to have more data. Basically, in order to make computers any smaller, they have to start looking at quantum physics. And for a long time, it had basically just been a theoretical question whether or not they could even do this and make quantum computers. It was always just like, oh, this is a cool idea, but these scientists at MIT have actually done it, and they made a 5-atom quantum computer. And it's actually more powerful they made one that's more powerful than they originally had thought, and they were able to compute bigger numbers than they thought previously possible. And they said that it'll be easy to scale it up in a way, like easier than they thought. That it'll scale better than previously thought, basically. So what do you think when you hear this story?
That means like there's probably going to be computers in everything before we know it.
Oh yeah,
like everything will be a small computer.
This is already a computer right here.
Oh yeah, in
your pocket. So it's like they already have wristwatches that are computers. I seen this thing today on Reddit where there's it's a story. I don't remember where it is. Maybe it's just you can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a company online and they're selling it through Amazon.
Yeah. And
it's watches. They're called, I don't know what they're called, but they're basically sold as items for students to cheat with. So it's a watch that there's a button on the side that if somebody's coming, you can push the button on the side and it'll make it so the screen will go back to a clock.
Yeah.
And it becomes like it's all the other buttons stop working, basically. Yeah. But yeah, man. How fucked is that? That can be sold. People are flipping out about it. Yeah. But so they're able to get computers already really small, and if you think about it, atomic-sized computers, like you said, computers will be everywhere. It'll be like electricity. Yeah. Right? Because right now, if you think about it, if there's no electricity, it's weird. Yeah. For you, for me, for everyone, right? Not everyone, but anyone watching this video, if you don't have electricity, it's weird. Like when the power goes out, it's, we gotta find the flashlights, we gotta find the candles. This is crazy thing that's going on, right? Yeah. Whereas right now with computers, we're not to that level. But if they start getting smaller and smaller and more easily accessible, these small computers, that's what will happen. Everything will be, you'll have smart clothing and smart paper.
Yeah.
Like, that you just throw away after or recycle or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. What else do we got here? Tupac's unreleased albums. Tupac's unreleased music, written notebooks to be auctioned.
Oh, well.
Several CDs featuring never before heard music from the late this is from openload.us. Oh yeah, so several CDs featuring never before heard music from the late West Coast rapper, as well as 3 notebooks filled with his handwritten lyrics and ideas, were recently unearthed by a fan and will soon be auctioned off on the Moments in Time website, according to TMZ. The man selling the unreleased tracks and journals reportedly obtained the long-concealed items when he purchased baseball cards from a Craigslist ad. The seller, who once worked alongside the legendary rapper, had been holding on to the previously undiscovered memorabilia. I don't know if I don't know if this is like, how do we know that this guy's telling the truth, right? Like, I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money on this.
No.
I wouldn't personally, because who knows if it's true, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it doesn't really say here. It's reportedly expected to sell for at least $35,000.
Really?
I mean, maybe whoever it gets sold to will be generous and release it to the public.
Yeah.
Shit. So what do you think about that? Tupac, do you ever listen to any rap?
Not really, no. But, I mean, that's cool. I mean,
you've heard Tupac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know a couple of his songs.
So what do you think about the idea? So do you think that it's legit or what?
I don't know. I would definitely want to be getting that verified.
Before he paid any sort of money at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems sketchy. Like, you just managed to find it through answering a Craigslist.
Yeah. That'd be, sketchy as shit.
Oh, it's like, hey, look at what I got in the back of my van.
Not only that, but it's just like, what are the chances that it's legit?
Yeah.
Just some dude on Craigslist selling this? Don't you think he would, like, let the world know and be like, I got this, check it out, man. I'm selling this shit. It's worth millions. It's Tupac. People love him. I think Tupac's actually one of my favorite rappers of all time, which, I mean, I don't listen to a lot of rap, but he is, when I do listen to rap, sometimes it's Tupac. Here's a big, actually crazy World War III news. North Korea threatens to reduce U.S. and South Korea to flames and ash.
Oh,
this is from theguardian.com. Let's see. North Korea has threatened to turn Washington and Seoul into flames and ashes, warning of an indiscriminate preemptive nuclear strike of justice in reaction to the start of U.S.-South Korean military drills. Such threats have been a staple of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un since he took power after his father's death in December 2011. But they tend to increase. This is poorly written. They had a period and then the next sentence starts with, but they tend to increase when Washington and Seoul stage what they describe as annual defensive springtime war games. So, do you think World War III is going to start right away here? Or do you think that the U.S. is going to get nuked and then they're going to fire nukes back at North Korea and then... Who knows?
Yeah.
Like that... If North Korea gets bombed by the U.S., I feel like Russia will fire back because it's like, they're firing missiles in our general vicinity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pyongyang says the drills, which were set to start on Monday and run to the end of April, are rehearsals for invading. North Korea's powerful National Defense Commission threatened strikes against targets in South Korea, U.S. bases in the Pacific, and the U.S. mainland, saying its enemies are working with bloodshot eyes to infringe upon the dignity, sovereignty, and vital rights of the country. If we push the buttons to annihilate the enemies, even right now, all bases of provocations will be reduced to seas in flames and ashes in a moment, the statement said.
Oh, yeah.
A preemptive, large-scale military strike that would end the authoritarian rule of the Kim dynasty is highly unlikely. There is also considerable outside debate about whether North Korea is even capable of the kind of strikes it threatens. The country makes progress with each new nuclear test, having staged its fourth in January. Mm-hmm. But many experts say North Korea's arsenal may consist of only still crude nuclear bombs. That's more nuclear bombs than I have, though.
Yeah.
There's uncertainty as to whether it has mastered the miniaturization process needed to mount bombs on warheads, and widespread doubt. Okay. There's uncertainty as to whether it has mastered it, as in North Korea. There's uncertainty as to whether North Korea has mastered the miniaturization process needed to mount bombs on warheads, and widespread doubt over whether the country has a reliable long-range missile system that could deliver such a bomb to the U.S. mainland. Mm-hmm. North Korea's bellicose rhetoric raises unease in Seoul and the U.S., not least because of the huge number of troops and weaponry facing off along the world's most heavily armed border, which is an hour's drive from the South Korean capital of Seoul and its 10 million residents. Mm-hmm. So shit is getting heated, man.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that North Korea has the technology? First of all, do you think they even have the technology to fulfill these threats?
Maybe. I think it's a little bit over exaggerated by
because when they were talking about their fourth nuclear test there.
Yeah.
North Korean scientists and the country claimed that it was a hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, that's true,
but it wasn't. There's no way the scientists around the world agree that there's no way that it was big even they said that it was a micro H bomb, which I think that basically what I heard is that scientists said even for the smallest H bomb you could make, it would be too small of an explosion.
Yeah.
Right? But who knows? I don't know if North Korea has that technology, and I kind of don't want to find out.
Yeah.
I don't want World War III to happen.
No.
I think that the world would be better off heading towards... That's the problem. The world that I think humanity should be working towards is the exact opposite world of what North Korea, like Kim Jong-un, wants the world to be. He wants it to rule everything, as I'm pretty sure that's what it seems like. Or at least rule as much as he can. Like, he just seems like a crazy dictator, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I think the world should be working towards making it so that there's a world government that decides stuff for the entire world and everybody cooperates, and it's not as much divided, and there's no... Like, we need to basically make it so there's no more war. I mean, I know that's almost impossible, but if you could do that, it would... There's no way that it's not a better world without war. Like, any way you look at it. But, I don't know. That isn't going to happen, especially North Korea's not just going to be like, you know what? Let's not be angry anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't mean all clearly most of the North Koreans are suffering and probably wish they could escape, right? Mm-hmm. But when I say North Korea, I'm talking about the higher ups like Kim Jong and any of his... if he has an advisory council, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
You can't run a country by yourself. Yeah, but... So, I think if they do have the technology, I think they're crazy enough to do something like that.
Me too.
So, there's one more story that I want to talk about real quick that's kind of... it comes from the Aspen Times, the Aspen Times website, aspentimes.com. And it's about legal marijuana.
Oh, really?
Because... this is since so Aspen Pot Sales topped 8.3 million in 2015, which it was higher than alcohol in a lot of cases. So the 7 marijuana dispensaries in Aspen sold more than $8.3 million worth of medical and recreational pot during 2015, according to statistics from the city's finance department. That's an incredible number, said Aspen Assistant Police Chief Bill Lynn. That's impressive. The exact amount of $8,347,557 in marijuana sales in the city translated to $200,341 in sales tax funneling into city coffers during 2015, according to the statistics. That's pretty good. $200,000 in tax just on pot alone, right? Mm. This is the first time the city has released the yearly marijuana sales numbers since commercial sales of recreational marijuana began in Colorado on January 1st, 2014. The city previously only released the combined amount of marijuana and alcohol sales. So, like, now they split it up and said, this is how much marijuana made, this is how much alcohol made. Before it was together. Yeah. So, now we actually know the breakdown specifically. Previous requests for the information were denied because too few dispensaries were in operation in the city, and officials feared that releasing sales numbers could give away too much specific information about how much business each dispensary was conducting. Yeah. The monthly breakdown of 2015 marijuana and alcohol sales shows marijuana generally trailing alcohol, though not by much. Marijuana sales eclipsed alcohol sales in both March and April, according to the statistics. Perhaps that's because of spring break. The $998,418 worth of marijuana sold in March was the city's highest monthly total of the year and was about 140,000 more than alcohol sales that month. April's pot sales of $455,935 were about 13,000 more than that month's alcohol sales. So, they're making some dough off of this. Yeah. And basically the reason why I bring this up is... Hang on, I'm just going to read this. Marijuana's effect on Aspen. Lynn said, the addition of legal recreational marijuana to Aspen more than a year ago has not increased police officers' workload. In fact, it has lessened the amount of work because officers don't have to seize the drug when they find it on people and then deal with the corresponding paperwork such action used to necessitate, he said. In addition, marijuana is far less of a societal ill than alcohol. Marijuana doesn't exactly whip people into a frenzy to act out or go to a bar and pick a fight. There's no question that a person who's been smoking marijuana is a lot less likely to pose a threat than someone drunk on alcohol. So, yeah. What do you think about the idea of legalized marijuana?
I think it could be good. Got a lot more money towards infrastructure and things like we need, like hospitals.
Well, that's the thing. I think that hopefully with this kind of information coming out more and more, it'll make it more likely that governments will realize that not only should it just be legal because it's a basic human right. You're an adult. You should be able to do what the fuck you want, right? Yeah. But it should also be legalized so they can use it to make money. Yeah. Right? There's people making money off of it right now that illegally, right? Like there's money being transferred around and the government isn't taxing it, and they could be, and it would, like you said, help put money towards healthcare and schooling and stuff like that. So, especially right now in this time of like it's a financial crisis right now with the oil field the way it is. Yeah. And so this would add revenue, and it might not make up for the amount of money Alberta was making with the oil field, but it would help. Yeah. Right? And it would also create jobs where people to whatever, like the people who build buildings and finish buildings, they'll have to renovate and create spaces to sell the stuff, and they have to have jobs of the people working in the stores and the people growing it. Like now all this stuff helps towards the country, right? Like it's actually, it's not just, for lack of a better term, black market dealings, right? Yeah. It's actually legitimate, and the government is able to use some of that money being made to help out the entire country.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I don't know. I think that it would be a really good thing to legalize pot. And hopefully, like I said, with this information coming out more and more in different places, it'll make it more likely for other places, whether it be other states or now possibly Canada. Because Justin Trudeau said that was one of his campaign promises. I don't know how quickly that's going to happen or if he's ever even going to do it, because politicians lie. That's just a simple fact, right? But who knows? Hopefully they see that this will help them. Because I think it'll help out the country a lot in terms of the economy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm no economic expert. I'm also no politician, so I take whatever I say with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. Yeah. But I want to know your guys' opinion. Start a conversation. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of any of the stories we talked about or any of the trailers we talked about.
Yeah.
Do you think that marijuana should be legal? Do you think it should be illegal? Why do you think that?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments down below. Do you know what time it is?
What are we reading, watching, playing?
It is What Are We Reading, Watching, or Playing. So do you have anything that you have been reading, watching, or playing?
Big Short yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So, it's one of the Oscar nominees for Best Picture, right? Without spoiling it, for those who haven't seen it, give us a little bit of a spiel about what the movie's about, and then let us know your thoughts.
About the housing market collapse in 2008.
It's got, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt,
Steve Carell, Christian Bale.
So quite a cast. What did you think of the movie?
It was a lot better than I was what I thought going into it. Right before I started, knew that I was gonna be watching it. I was like, I don't know what this is gonna be like, you know. But it turned out to be really good, actually.
How was Steve Carell? Did he just seem like Michael from The Office? That's the one thing I always worry about. He's an incredible actor, and he does a good job in a lot of movies, but every once in a while he'll do a role where, because I've watched The Office so much, I just see it, and it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
In a way, but sometimes it is. In a movie like this, I could see it taking away a little bit if the character that he's playing is at all like Michael Scott, just for the simple fact Michael Scott is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and you want to laugh at him, and this is a serious movie, right?
Yeah.
Or
it's pretty serious. But
is it funny also? It is directed by the Adam McKay, who created Anchorman.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he directed the first one. He definitely directed the second one. He's directed a lot of Will Ferrell movies. I think also Step Brothers was Adam McKay.
Oh, really?
Was it funny?
Yeah, it was at times funny.
But it wasn't a comedy.
It wasn't. No. No.
So overall, you recommend people watch it, or?
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Cool. Was there anything else that you have been reading, watching, or playing, or there's?
That's pretty much it for lately.
This week?
Yeah.
For myself, I have been playing Broforce. I gotta show you this game.
Yeah.
I played it when just the beta was out on my laptop, and it's a 2D side scroller where you play so you start out as your Rambo, and then you unlock new characters where you can unlock the Terminator and the Arnie from Commando and RoboCop, Indiana Jones. There's just all these Blade. There's just all, all of their names have the word bro put into it somehow. MacGyver is one of them. You can just all these different people, right?
Yeah.
And it's just really fun. And all you do is you kill. It's like an 80s action movie, but a 2D side scroller.
Oh, really?
And you can also destroy walls and stuff like that. If you shoot the walls or the ground and stuff, you can destroy it.
Oh, really?
And so you can, if you are stuck down below, sometimes you have to create a path and go different ways to a level, and sometimes you can basically fuck yourself over if you destroy the platform you were supposed to walk on to go over here and then climb up. You could fuck yourself over and have to restart the level sometimes. It's actually kind of interesting, and it's
cool.
It's really fun. Yeah.
And
I also watched Goosebumps the other day.
Nice.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's actually really good. You know the premise.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, it's Jack Black. It plays R.L. Stine, who is the author of the Goosebumps series.
I've got a bunch of those books.
Yeah, me as well. I read them a lot when I was a kid.
Me too, yeah.
So the day that Goosebumps came out was the same day that Crimson Peak came out. Basically, so yeah, like I was saying, he's R.L. Stine, and basically the idea of the movie is when he wrote the books, it was like trapping the monsters inside the books kind of a thing, in a way.
Yeah.
Without giving too much away. And somebody opens up the books and the monsters come out. It's almost like Jumanji in that way, where it's like... And I think the animation was really good because each of the monsters had almost a different animation style that fit that monster. The monsters that were more realistic looked more realistic. The monsters that were more cartoony looked more cartoony. And I think they did a really good job in that aspect. And I thoroughly actually enjoyed the movie. Like, completely. Nice. Like, I really enjoyed watching it. In fact, so, like I said, it came out the same day as Crimson Peak. And we all went and saw Crimson Peak because I was looking forward to that movie so much. I thought it was going to be a nice horror movie. Good October horror movie to sink my teeth into because it was, like, the weekend of Halloween, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Not a good movie.
No.
Well, the movie's actually fine. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie, but it's not the movie they sold in the trailers.
No,
Crimson
definitely
Peak.
Not.
But did you come with us to see it?
No.
Okay.
But I knew that it wasn't going to be a horror movie.
Yeah, no, it's like a Victorian era romance movie with ghosts. I thought it was going to be a ghost story horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's not. Anytime you see blood, or what you think is blood in the trailers, like in the trailers, there's a couple scenes where it looks like the entire yard of snow is all red from blood or something. It's like it's clay or something. It's whatever the ground is made out of. They live on like this clay mountain, this red clay mountain, and that's how they make money. They don't make money. It's a long story, but that's what they do on that. Yeah. Like, that's what their family business is they mine that clay and sell it to make bricks or something. I don't know. It was just very disappointing because I was expecting something completely different, right? But basically, in hindsight, after seeing Goosebumps, I feel like we would have had a way more enjoy because it was like me, Logan, Tiana, Emily. I think Sam might have come with us. There's a group of us that went, and it. Basically, I think we would have all had a way better time watching Goosebumps instead of Crimson Peak. Yeah. Because we were all like wanting to get scared, watch a horror movie, right? Yeah. Goosebumps might not have, there wasn't really scares, but it was at least a good movie. And and what I expected, right? Like, it's what I expected from Goosebumps. And it was, I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's not as good as like School of Rock or some of the other Jack Black classics, but I thoroughly enjoyed Goosebumps. Nice. So I definitely would recommend, if you haven't seen Goosebumps, check it out. And if you have seen Goosebumps or The Big Short, let us know what you thought of the movie in the comments down below. Have you played Broforce? Do you think it's as badass as I do? Let us know. That's going to do it for us for this episode. Yeah. I want to thank you for joining us today. Not only the viewers, but thank you, Cole, for being on the podcast. Where can the good folks at home find you?
Through the band, on Twitter, or YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, at Greater
Most
Nowhere.
of the social medias?
Most of the social medias.
Yeah, cool. If you want to get a hold of myself, you can get a hold of me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, at Winter Trooper. If you want to suggest topics for us to talk about on the show, whether it be a news story or maybe even if you have a question or an idea that you want us to talk about, whatever, just send it in and we'll probably talk about it. Just email us at whatwetalkingabouttoday@gmail.com. You could tweet at us using the hashtag WAWTA pod, or you can just tweet at whatwetalkin. Like us on Facebook. What are we talking about? SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, all the good stuff. Whatever, comment, rate, and review if you want. Let us know what you thought of any of these movies. Like I said, any of the news stories and anything that we talked about today. Let us know your thoughts because we want to have a conversation with you guys and know your thoughts as well. That's what it's all about. Not just the hokey pokey. But anyways, I'm boring Cole.
No, I'm fucking
so
tired.
That's going to be it for us. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, peace.
Peace.